right,
I'm giddy.
on to the main news this week. We released a recent Marketing a Talk where we go in depth on some things. And the most recent iteration featured Cindy Crum and Casey Gillette, and we talked about passages. And we wanted to kind of cover what they were and then the content side of things. And that was released in December. And of course, once it was released, there are some things that changed based off of some bad illustrations that Google had given here. So to recap that, all the information on what you should do from a content side of things in that Marketing Talk is still spot on. Like, it's not going to be the time to ever do thin content again, with the fact that Google's going to be able to go through, index your page, but take a specific portion of the page and use that. And so the content still very much stand by, but the display is a little bit inaccurate, as Danny Sullivan on his @DannySullivan Twitter account had clarified. So if you're looking over on YouTube, or if you head over to marketingclock.com, you can see the example that they gave at the Search On conference and the following blog post. This is an example from Google where it shows before, and you see the traditional blue link with the snippet text underneath it. And then you see after, and you see the text showing up big and bold, and you see the blue link. And we joked, I think John Henshaw made a joke saying, I'm never going to go to that DIY, doityourself.com. I'm sure it's a very fine site. And it shows before and after. And this has to do with the passages update. Well, apparently that is not the case. There's going to be no display changes that happen with this passages update. So just want to make that very, very crystal clear. Barry had asked Danny, will passage indexing ranked search result snippets look any different from normal snippets? ? To which Danny said, why would they? It's like asking if link analysis results look different, or if BERT analysis looks different. It's just another ranking factor. Doesn't change the look of the results.
So then why did they post that picture?
Mark.
Don't ask smart questions.
So then Barry responds, says, I don't think it would. But the image on the blog post you guys wrote made it seem like it would, and shows the exact image that Google wrote showing before passages and after passages.
Barry's got the receipts.
So Danny says that's a bad illustration because it compares a regular snippet with a featured snippet. Any regular listing that becomes a featured snippet right now without passage ranking looks like that.
Thanks.
And Danny is salt of the earth, was one of the founders of Third Door Media and reported on this so long. And if with Danny on the team, if Google can't get these updates right, they never will. They never will. I mean, why would you do it before and after?
Yeah. Also,
Doesn't make sense.
It's two different things. So it's like two different results. Like if you're gonna do it before and after, I'd want to know like how the same post might look different in the search
100%.
results.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, you're showing like two different things. So it's kind of like, oh, did this article rank higher than this other post because one post was written differently? There's just like too much going on in this image with nothing to support it. And it's like kind of like someone wrote the post and then like a supervisor was like, oh no, we can't publish this without an image. And they just like grab something.
Before it looks exactly the same as after. Let's spice it up. But so then Cindy went through and said, FYI, I think that illustration in the article really created a different perception. Obviously, you're showing before and after. So Danny said, yeah, I can understand that. Not the best way for us to have illustrated it. Well, for ordinary people, it was probably fine. For SEOs, I can see and understand they're seeing a display difference and interpreting it in a way that we didn't intend. How? That not the best way to show it? It is completely the worst way to show it. You couldn't show a worse way to show this.
Also, do they think like anyone outside of SEO is like
Exactly.
reading these Google updates.
No
Like,
ordinary
do you think
people
just,
saw
like,
this.
Some like random person who like uses Google as their search engine is like staying up to date, and it's like, oh, my results are going to look different because it's passage based ranking now. So now I know when I search for if the grocery store has toilet paper this week that this post might look. It's like no. Only digital marketers are concerned with this. Like, I don't what he means. Like, to ordinary people, it probably looked fine. And it's like, yeah, because ordinary people don't know what the hell you're talking about.
They didn't even see it. It doesn't matter. They didn't see it. If the image was for them, you could have left it out.
There was a lot of chat around the holiday dinner table about the keyword Google search blog in this post specifically at the family function. No, and there was
Whose
no family
holiday dinner
function.
table?
Nobody was talking about
All those
this.
ordinary
Yeah,
people.
I don't know. It's only webmasters that would care about this.
Yep.
And it is absolutely the worst possible way to display any kind of change. Get rid of the image altogether. In the great recent film, Recipe for Seduction, Not Recipe for Love, starring Mario Lopez, a wise man once said to Harlan Sanders, "Beat it, crouton. Go back to the kitchen." And that's what this image should do. All right? That's what this image should do. And then I was like, I don't know. I hate getting things wrong. And we said something that was technically incorrect because the after in the example is a feature snippet. So we're going to link to this specific spot and you can try to figure it out yourself. Another item that Barry Schwartz from Search Engine Land, again, one of the publications that Danny has started and now is not an advisor on, but a very reputable source, had asked Google and got an answer from a Google spokesperson when they asked, isn't this like featured snippets? And the specific question asked was, how does this differ from featured snippets where Google shows a passage of your content on an answer at the top of the Google search results? Google said it's, quote, systems determine the relevance of any web document via understanding of passages. Featured snippets, on the other hand, identifies the most relevant passage in a document we've overall determined to be relevant to the query. So that's it. But if they're two different things, and Martin Split on the Search Engine Journal video that we referenced did talk about this, the two different systems. So I just hate that example that they gave from an image standpoint. And the fact that they're confused and saying that this might not be the best way to do it. Yeah, it's the worst way to do it. I don't know. And then we don't have much news today. So it's also incorrect. The image that they gave, the content is incorrect. There's no such thing as UV glass.
Oh.
The question is, how can I determine if my house windows are UV glass? And you can't do that. That's like saying, how do I determine if I have UV lotion? It's like you don't put UV in glass. You don't have, you block things out. There's something called low E glass, which is a low emittance coating that can block specific UVA light from coming through. There's no such thing as UV glass. And when you look at it, the answer they pull through is incorrect in this example. So I'm going through and I'm like, how is this different? How did this earn the featured snippet result? It came from this forum. The forum thread got closed because people started arguing back and forth and discrediting everybody else. And the answer in this stupid feature snippet example they gave says, when it's dark, hold a lit match or lighter close to the glass in your window. Look at the reflection of the flame in the window, and you should see either 2 or 3 flames in the reflection. If you see 2 flames in the reflection, then your windows don't have low E coating. That is not how it works. You need to hold a lighter up. You need to get both of the flames there. Then you need to turn your head to turn the 2 flames into multiple flames, and you need to be able to see once it starts bouncing off different portions of the glass in the low E coating, you'll then see 4 different things, and you look if there's a different color in there. It's not just you hold the light up, you see 2 things, you don't have low E glass. It's a terrible answer. It's a terrible result. And if you go through and you read the thread, you find it got closed, and the final answer in this specific thread was, agree with me or disagree with me. I don't care, but don't ever call me a liar, and don't ever accuse me of trying to suggest something to someone because there's ultimately some sort of gain in it for me. So that's the result they're highlighting. That's the after, and that's Google Passages for you. Happy 2021.
I'd like to make a nomination for Rant of the Year.
Rant of the Year. Right there.
And it's the first day.
Oh my
I hate getting
goodness.
things wrong.
No.
And we were wrong on it, but it was a bad example.
Not our fault. Not our fault.
I think we had a missed opportunity to bring in a flame and test this on our
plexiglass
dividers.
Oh no, I'm seeing multiple flames when I look at Greg. I think this is low E for sure.
Well, I'm on fire, so you're safe.
Like what you saw? Of course you did. If you're looking for more, Marketing O'Clock releases new episodes every Friday with digital marketing news of the week. You can subscribe wherever you consume your podcasts. Or click to watch the full episode, the next news story, or read all the articles from the show.